Welcome back to the Bordas and Bordas Hotline of the Allegheny Health Network Nightly Sports Call. Bob Pompiani, Gene Collier, and joined by a lot of people. Right now, let's go to line 2 to find what the Rock is cooking in Butler. Hey, Rock.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm fine. Enjoy your show, first-time caller.
Thank you.
Thanks
Appreciate
for calling.
I tape it every day. I'd like to talk about Gino
Gino Collier or Gino Malkin?
Malkin.
Okay.
I'm upset with him with the penalties. You know he leads the penalties in penalties for the season, and he's also leading the playoffs.
All right.
Penalties.
Anything else?
Can't somebody settle him down?
Well, he plays. He's an emotional player, Rock. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it, and hope you do it again. Gene, he's an emotional player. To me, he's better when he's emotional. Some of that stuff extends into plays that he should not make in terms of extracurricular stuff after the whistle. But aside from that, that's what he is. He's an emotional player.
Yeah, thanks for joining us here on the Nightly Sports Call. He, he does lead the Penguins in penalties, both in the regular season and the playoffs. But, the actual number of minutes isn't, alarmingly high to me.
Jerry in Hempfield is next on the Sports Call. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, Bob, Gene. It looks like the Penguins might lose this game. We'll say they probably will. Now, when they come back to Pittsburgh and say they start Murray again and they lose that game, and if I'm Fleury and they don't talk to me about maybe put me in, if I'm Fleury, I'm saying, you know what, I'm going to waive my no-trade clause, and I want out of here now. You don't have no confidence in me, so you could just get rid of me right now. What do you think about that?
I think you're going way too far ahead of yourself here to think all that's going to happen. I think Fleury knows. I think his family knows that he's destined for another place. I think it would be nothing but sweet music to his ears to hear if he can get one more opportunity before that end date happens, Gene. And it may happen in Game 5. And, again, I would find nothing wrong with that move if Mike Sullivan chooses to do it. There's a lot to be said for psychological warfare about just doing something to jumpstart your team. Why not if they lose this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think Marc-Andre Fleury, if he's upset with the Penguins, is already upset from what happened in the Ottawa series. So, I don't think anything is going to change. But, I think it would be interesting if they got to a Game 7 and put Marc-Andre Fleury in there. I might be upset about that, too. It's like, okay, now you want me to save you after you, pulled me out after only 12 bad minutes of the postseason. I think that would be bad.
Let's go to Bill in Overbrook, who's on the Sports Call right now on the Bordas and Bordas Hotline. What's up, Bill?
Hey, Bob, Gene. Hey, sitting here thinking tonight, we talk about all the great sports figures we've had in the city here, okay? Now, as far as coaches, you got to say no as far as football, right? Danny Murtaugh or Jim Leland in baseball, I don't know who you or Gene would pick. But if Mike
Murtaugh's
Sullivan
right up on the list. Chuck Tanner's right on the list. Go ahead.
And then if Mike Sullivan wins the Cup, I mean, we've had Scotty Bowman here. We had Badger Bob. I mean, we've had some great coaches in this time. I don't know, where would you rank Mike Sullivan if the Pens win the Cup this year,
If they win the Cup this year, to me, it would be their best coach in 2 years already in their history. I don't know about you, Gene. What do you say?
Well, sure. They have won more Stanley Cups than any coach in Penguins history. He's done a great job. He doesn't take a back seat to anybody, even at this point, in my view.
Line 2 we go. It's Rick in Freeport. Hey, Rick, how you doing?
I'm good. Hey, having a good night watching the game. And I'll tell you, fellas, what I've been seeing since the puck dropped in the first period is no game plan at all. Everything they try just falls apart. There's like no discipline, no puck control. Their whole game plan is just completely unraveled and fallen apart. I don't know if it's because of what's going on in the stands, and I'm watching it now, and Subban's down.
Yeah, he got hit. I think he took a shot, and he looks like Bonino did when he took a shot.
He's in bad shape. Now, I don't mind seeing a player get hurt, but I never want to see one get injured.
All right.
That makes sense?
Sure. They took a commercial break, but Subban went down to block a shot, and he made a good block because they had a tremendous opportunity. I think it was Malkin who took that shot. But, Gene, Malkin takes a shot like that, just like Subban's shot. It's one of the best in the league. So they still have, time. You get a goal here, pull a goaltender. Weird things have happened in hockey games. And if you could somehow get this to overtime, I guarantee you that crowd won't be as loud in overtime because they'll be sitting on their hands and not willing to do much but watch in disbelief that they even got this far. So you never know. If you're the Penguins, you keep firing the puck and see what happens. Line 5 we go. That's Bernie in Plum. Hey, Bernie.
Hey, Bob, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. You know, I just have kind of I'm in a quandary here because last year Fleury was clearly their MVP. He got injured. They went with a hot goalie, which was the good thing to do. This year it was just the reverse, and all of a sudden they wouldn't even be here without Fleury, and now he doesn't even get another chance. I just don't want to see the Penguins, Mario, Burkle, and those guys turn into Nutting and Huntington and just get rid of the guy because.
No, that's not why they're getting rid of him. This has to do with an expansion draft. Has nothing to do with money. So that's not going to happen. But I mean, what are you going to do? Line 4, make that 3. Linda and Elizabeth. What's up, Linda? How you doing?
I think that the NHL would like the Predators to win the Stanley Cup.
I think that's not even close to being accurate. It is 2-2 if it comes back to this and the Penguins have home ice. Thanks for your call. Let's go to Chris in Uniontown. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Bob? I have a question. Where did the Pirates mess up at? Where did all this downfall went down? Because they should have signed all them players back, and they went backwards on us. And it's like they're like basically telling the fans, "You're gonna pay anyway. Come on down. We're not gonna show a good team." And I don't understand.
All right.
Tell me what happened.
Gene's going to explain that to you right now, okay? So put your mind at ease. Gene, go ahead. Take it away.
Well, once upon a time, the Pirates had great seasons, 13, 14, 15. Could have won the World Series in 2015, in my view. Then they made some bad personnel decisions, and things started to snowball on them, and they're going backwards. These things are cyclical. They don't want to spend a lot of money on free agents, and that's well established. And now it's really starting to hurt them. That's kind of the broad, general view, without getting too far into it, so that we're up against another break. Are we up against another break?
We are. Why don't you take it to the break, Gene? Go ahead.
Okay, we'll be back.